Set in Chicago, the movie begins by introducing the main characters, interspersed with scenes of a heist in progress. Veronica and Harry Rawlings are blissfully married. Linda and Carlos Pirelli own a store and have 2 children, Zavi and Gracie, though it appears Linda shoulders most of the workload. Alice Gunner is abused by her husband, Florek, who tries to make amends by being sweet and sincere afterward. Jimmy Nunn kisses his wife, Amanda, goodbye. After the robbery goes wrong, Harry's crew, which includes the other 3 husbands, race away in a van. With the police in pursuit, Harry pulls the van into a garage so that they can switch cars and get away. But as they open the garage door, police cars are waiting on the outside. The police begin to shoot, and the van explodes and flips over, killing everyone inside. We then see Veronica waking up alone. Jack Mulligan is running for alderman of the 18th Ward. His father, Tom, is a former political heavyweight who wants his son to follow in his footsteps. Jack's opponent is Jamal Manning. Jack visits Jamal's campaign office, located in the church, to confront him. Tom firmly demands that Jack win and not be the first in their family to lose to a black man. The women have to bury their husbands. Veronica attends Harry's funeral, where his remains are laid to rest beside their late son, Marcus. Jack is present and tells Veronica he knew Harry well, offering his help if needed. Jamal and his brother, Jetem, also watch the service from a distance. Amanda and Alice attend the funerals of their husbands. Linda is at home, trying to console Carlos's mother, Lita, who blames Linda for what happened to Carlos, claiming he got into that life to support her and the kids, and now his blood is on Linda's hands. That evening, Veronica is visited by Jamal. He tells her Harry stole $2 million from him, money he needs for his campaign. Jamal forcefully holds Veronica's small dog, Olivia, by the collar to show he's serious. He orders Veronica to come up with the money within 2 weeks. Linda goes to her shop to find men repossessing everything inside. When she demands an explanation, she's told that Carlos handled the lease, and since he was behind on payments, the store no longer belongs to her. Meanwhile, Alice's mother, Agnieszka, suggests she support herself by becoming an escort. When Alice refuses, Agnieszka slaps her. Veronica visits someone with compromising photos of a man having with a younger woman, clearly meant for blackmail. She then goes to a bowling alley to meet a man named Bobby Welsh, who hands her a notebook left by Harry detailing all his heist activities. Veronica learns Harry's next heist involved stealing $5 million. At a gymnasium, Jetem's men find 2 young men rapping and bring them to Jetem. They were responsible for guarding Jamal's stolen money. Jetem orders them to rap again before he executes them. Jack attends a rally for his organization, Minority Women of Work, aimed at helping women of color start their businesses. Pressed by a reporter about another unethical practice of his, Jack walks away with his aide, Siobhan. As they drive away, Jack complains to Siobhan about his insecurities running against Jamal and the pressure from his father, but Siobhan tells him to toughen up. Since being threatened by Jamal, Veronica realized she has to come up with the money her late husband owes by any means possible. So, Veronica asks all the other widows to meet her at a spa. When she arrives, only 2 of them, Alice and Linda, are there. Veronica mentions that she invited a 3rd woman, Amanda. When Alice and Linda ask who Amanda is, Veronica replies, "Let's hope it doesn't matter." Veronica informs them about Jamal and how Harry left plans for the next heist. Though hesitant, Linda and Alice reluctantly agree to join when Veronica emphasizes the threat the Mannings pose to them and their families. Considering that their crew needs a fourth member, it would be strange for Veronica not to care that one of the women didn't show up. After all, she is threatening to blackmail the other two into pulling off the heist. Anyway, Jamal visits a church to seek Reverend Wheeler's endorsement, but Wheeler seems to side with the Mulligans. Jatem also visits Bobby at the bowling alley to torture him for information about Harry. Jatem is aware that Bobby knows he stole from them, so he asks why Harry did it. When Bobby doesn't cooperate, he stabs him in the back and throws him off his wheelchair. When Jatem asks again, this time Bobby says Veronica has Harry's notebook, which Jatem doesn't seem to care about at first. Bobby says Harry was old school, that he wrote every single detail of every job down on paper. Furthermore, he explains that everything Harry did or will do is in that notebook. So, Jatem leaves with a warning that what he told him better be useful or else. At a hair salon, Belle watches as her boss, Betrayal, pays a large man sent by his boss. Belle questions Betrayal, who explains she has to give a cut of her earnings to those who allow her to keep her business afloat, namely Jack Mulligan. After work, Belle returns home to her mother, Suzette, and her daughter, Bailey, only to get a call about another job. She leaves immediately and rushes to catch the bus. She arrives at Linda's home to babysit her children. Linda goes to join Veronica and Alice at their husband's old hideout, where Veronica gives them money to buy guns and a getaway van. She also gives them the blueprints for the heist. Alice goes to an auction to get a van and ends up overpaying. Adding to the difficulty, Alice tells Veronica she can't drive, so Veronica plans to recruit Harry's old driver, Bash. Alice then goes to buy guns and has a woman help her, as she doesn't have the proper documents to purchase firearms. Meanwhile, Linda tries to decipher the blueprints for the heist, but can't make out the word on the paper. She visits a man whose residence she believes to be the target by pretending to work for a company that owns the house, but she slips up when she mentions the man's wife, whom he says has been deceased for 4 months. Linda breaks down when she talks about her late husband. She and the man start kissing before Linda realizes it's wrong, and she leaves. Linda later joins Alice as the two go to a shooting range to practice. Alice performs well, but Linda turns out to be a poor shot. Harry's contact at the bowling alley, Bobby, calls Veronica. He asks her if she has traded the notebook yet. Veronica lies and says yes. That's good, says Bobby, as he looks over to a mysterious figure we can't see. Amanda finally does call Veronica and ask to meet up. Right before, Veronica is asleep, dreaming about her relationship with Harry, both the good times and the bad ones. It is revealed for the first time in this scene that the two lost a child. Harry says to Veronica, "Don't make having a child with you my only regret." Veronica shoots back and says, "Maybe you should have had a child with someone else. Then he'd still be alive." Veronica meets with Amanda in a diner. Amanda mentions she couldn't meet with Veronica earlier due to taking care of her newborn baby. Because of this, Veronica chooses not to mention anything involving the heist. She begins to talk about Harry, saying that he never made a mistake before. His meticulous notebook supports the idea that he's a perfectionist. Amanda says, "I guess he was human after all." Amanda also says that she hopes Harry left Veronica enough money to move somewhere else and start over. 1 week before the heist is to take place, the Mannings visit Bash and kill him. Alice joins the escort site and begins seeing a man named David. He turns out to be a real estate executive and notices the blueprints in Alice's room, which she identifies as belonging to the Mulligan home. Veronica shows up at Amanda's house unannounced to ask whether her husband knew anyone who might be willing to act as a getaway driver for the upcoming heist. While Amanda is calming her crying baby in another room, Veronica's dog runs to a closed door and begins barking and scratching at it. Veronica looks over on the table and sees a flask, which looks just like the one that belonged to Harry. Veronica walks over to the door, wanting to open it and not have her suspicions confirmed, but she grabs Olivia and leaves before Amanda returns. Amanda goes to the closet and speaks to the man inside, who is indeed Harry. Veronica drives away, feeling overwhelmed. A flashback then shows how Harry set up his men with a decoy in the driver's seat, and he fired 2 shots to provoke the police into shooting at the van just before he detonated explosives to kill his men. Next, we see Harry on a boat with Jack, as they have been working together, and Jack had ordered Harry to steal from Jamal. Another flashback shows how strained things got between Veronica and Harry just before the last heist took place. We then go back to 2008 when Marcus was driving and made an illegal U-turn to go back home and deliver something to Harry. He was pulled over by a cop and almost shot to death when Marcus failed to show his hands. This incident broke Harry and left him desperate. Veronica tells the ladies they need a new driver. Linda notices how fast Belle is, so she invites her to join the heist. Despite Veronica's initial reservations, she agrees to let Belle join due to her fearless attitude. Veronica visits Jack to ask for help with Jamal, but he tells her there's nothing he can do, and that he learned from his father and Harry that you reap what you sow. While Veronica talks to Jack, the other ladies survey the outside area to assess the external security. They also spend time at the hideout practicing how they will transport the money and how quickly they need to move. Tom meets with Jack over Jack firing the campaign manager who had been with their family for 30 years. Tom curses Jack out and orders him to have Siobhan rehire the man, but Jack tells him that he can't wait for the day when he doesn't have to talk to him anymore, since Tom won't be around. Just before the heist takes place, Veronica finds Ken, the CEO of the Mulligan security company, and the man in the compromising photos she obtained earlier. The photos are of him with his niece. With her leverage, Ken gives Veronica the codes to the Mulligan's safe. The ladies then gather for the heist later that evening. Belle distracts the security guards outside by firing flares into nearby cars. Veronica, Linda, and Alice get inside with masks and devices that disguise their voices. They reach the safe and take all the money. But as they head out, Tom emerges from his room with a gun and orders the women to drop theirs. He unmasks Veronica and shoots Alice in the shoulder, wounding her. But Linda shoots and kills Tom. The widows carry out the heist successfully from Mulligan's house, but their celebrations come to a halt when Jetem confronts them. He holds Belle at gunpoint and takes control of the van. He runs away with the money, but the widows do not let him get away and follow him with another car. They follow him closely and ram their vehicle to the van. This leads Jetem crashing the van, and he ends up getting killed in the accident. The widows retrieve the money, and Linda then rushes Alice to the hospital to get treated for her wound. When Veronica returns to their hideout, she meets Harry. She breaks down, angry over his betrayal. He attempts to justify what he did as him having to look out for himself and his new family, meaning Amanda and their baby. Harry takes the money, and before he plans to shoot Veronica, she shoots him dead first with the gun that Linda used to kill Tom. Veronica leaves the gun in Harry's hand and leaves with the money. In the end, Jack wins the election and the widows return to a new life. Linda starts running her store again, Alice starts her own business, and Belle moves to a new city with her daughter. Veronica donates most of the money from the heist to rebuild a school library by her dead son's name, Marcus. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.